Sorry, I thought I was recording. Um, I'm done pretending like we live in a society that makes sense. You know, I've had nothing but criticisms of the world around me, and this fucking story just takes the goddamn cake. I don't want to hear any fucking excuses. I don't want people to try to even pretend to argue that this is an okay thing. A church, I think it was in South Dakota, wanted to help homeless people. I'm not religious, but I do believe in religious freedom. It was 6 degrees outside, and they wanted to let homeless people stay in the side of the church to keep warm. And the city told them no. And the only thing that they can point to is that the church wanted to let them go at 8 in the morning, and there's potential kids going to school at that time, and yeah, they were just like a child safety, blah blah blah. Instead of just saying, "Hey, let them go a little bit after or let a little bit earlier," just told them no. Um, One, you would think that that would fall under religious freedom. You know, I should have the freedom to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ and to help homeless people, which is one of the few things that Jesus actually does in the Bible that is very Christ-like that a lot of Christians don't fucking do. It's something we need a little bit more of, in all honesty. Our government's not going to fucking do it. And they're just told no. Why do we have all of these standards where we have to pretend to smile, pretend to be there for you, pretend like the government cares about you, pretend like we have these rules and regulations for a good purpose, but we can't even fucking let people do a good thing? Why? Because we care more about your property values and we care more about some people's rights than being consistent, than being logical, than actually helping people. We have cities where it is illegal to be homeless. And think about this, right? If you're arrested, that's not free. That costs the government money. It costs the government money to put you in a jail, to have you in a cell, to pay for you to be inside of that cell, to feed you 3 times a day, to give you medical care, because the Supreme Court has and continuously has said that you have a right to medical care. And if you do not have money, it will be provided for you. It's not the best medical care, but it's medical care. To pay for an attorney, because you have a right to legal counsel, and if you cannot afford one will be provided for you at the expense of court. To have court. How many people are in a courtroom, working in a courtroom, especially if you have a jury, and that jury gets paid? We pay salaries and wages and overtime and all of these things, and these people that process this paperwork in the background, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars goes into this, because we would rather lock you up than find a different use for that money for homeless people. And you are demonized for using welfare and for using food stamps and for going to jail. But we don't understand that we spend money on those jails. We spend money on the law enforcement officers. Police officers get paid a lot of money, dude. Now, I was fucking rolling in money when I worked in a jail. And, you know, I honestly, fuck you for this being the best solution on how to deal with homeless people. You mean to tell me that you can't let somebody who is struggling to be inside of your house on a cold night, to be nice to your fellow man, to go out of your way to make yourself uncomfortable, to make somebody else a little bit more comfortable? We can't do that. But if I wanted to start a crypto coin and scam people out of their money, that's perfectly fine. If I wanted to sell NFTs, that's perfectly fine. If I wanted to have a job where I start a business where I essentially take advantage of my workers. I pay people to do a service, and I don't necessarily pay for them, and they can't afford to take me to court. We're not going to spend any time or concern or money or effort to make sure that that's okay. You know, we require you to get your health insurance through your jobs, but we don't require jobs to give you health insurance. And so we have this weird gap where there are people who don't have health insurance because you're required to basically figure it out yourself. And it's so expensive that people just don't go to the fucking doctor. Because something as simple as getting your blood pressure checked regularly is a fucking catastrophe here. And we call that freedom. I'm tired of people telling me how appreciative I should be. I'm tired of pretending like the soldiers we send overseas are dying for my freedom. They are not. They're killing people and being killed by people who do not know me and who do not care about me. I am tired of pretending like young people are upset because they're just lazy. And I'm tired of pretending that like people who are upset at the government just don't understand. The government doesn't care about you. Because if they did, this would not be a problem. A church would be allowed to use their property for whatever reasons they want. And they wouldn't treat homeless people like an out of sight, out of mind problem. It would be a problem where many people would spend effort trying to solve. And this is why I have such a hard time accepting the things that I am being told by my superiors, by my betters, by my former supervision, by my parents, by the adults surrounding me. It's why I have such a hard time when people try to tell me that there are reasons for things that I do not understand. Because shit like this is an example of us prioritizing appearances over duty, over kindness, over our responsibility to being a good person. I don't do that many good things. I know I don't. I understand that I could do more. I could spend more time and money and energy helping people who are less fortunate than me. But I would at least let somebody do that. I wouldn't tell them that they're not allowed to do that because homeless people are gross and yucky and make our society look a little trashy. Since when did we have a non-trashy society? We are pretending to be cleaner than we actually are. We are pretending to be richer than we actually are. We are making people maintain appearances that aren't necessarily true. Everything is a facade. Everything is a scam. We care more about the rights of businesses screwing you over. It is okay for my landlord to increase my rent to the point to where other apartments in my same apartment complex that have updated microwaves and updated refrigerators and updated stoves can be cheaper than my apartment. That is okay. That's perfectly fine. It's okay for them to raise my rent every time I re-sign the lease, even if they didn't do anything different. Even if the property values of the other apartments, when I ask them why is this identical apartment $150 cheaper than my apartment, and they just say that's just the algorithm. Why are we okay with AI when it comes to algorithms increasing your prices? Why are we okay with dealing with something as simple as canceling a subscription, jumping through 30 fucking hoops and cancellation fees? Why should I pay you a fee to cancel a subscription? If I wanted to cancel my gym membership, I had to pay a fee. Some gyms require you to mail corporate, and they have up to 30 days to reply to you. Some places, like the first time I had Xfinity and I tried to cancel it, they couldn't tell me how much I had to pay them to cancel it. They could turn on my internet on site, but they couldn't turn it off. They couldn't just let me pay the fee and go home. And it was the cost of almost 3 months worth of internet to cancel my internet. And it wouldn't have been cheaper if I gave them notice. That's okay. But if you're a church that wants to let homeless people sit inside, that's not okay. Fucking stupid. It is fucking stupid. Retarded. It's retarded how being in a position where you have a little bit of money, our government will let you do so much fucking more and take advantage of people and screw them over. But the moment that you try to acknowledge that the world is a little bit uglier than we pretend like it is, and we try to make it a slightly better place, you can be told no. Because the appearance matters more.